Hey everyone, Mark and Joey back here on a Wednesday morning, getting excited for the Canadian Open happening this week, and it all starts tomorrow. So very, very excited here in town. It's hard to believe. Raptors tonight, Canadian Open, and even Rory said on the first day of practice, I can't believe how many people are here. It's almost like being at the Masters for the amount of people out at the practice round.
Yeah, he said it was a lie. He said they were very excited and energized for a practice round, but yeah, that's what we do. He even went to the Raptors game and said he made him want to be a basketball player. The crowd that was there, obviously, if you follow our show or follow the NBA Finals, you've heard about it. So it's now going to golf this week a little bit. They'll still go out every night for the basketball games, but golf is expected to be huge this week, and everyone's going to be there. I think Saturday's the biggest night because there's actually a concert as well.
Oh my God.
Saturday, they're sold out to the capacity. I think Sunday sold out to capacity. Thursday, Friday are getting there. The weather is looking good for the players, so they're going to get a good week in here in Canada. And I know they're really excited about it.
Yeah, for sure. It's one of the golf courses they love as well. In case you don't know, the Canadian Open is back in Hamilton Golf and Country Club this week after a few years at Glen Abbey again. The players all love Hamilton. It's an old, traditional kind of golf course. Lots of tree-lined fairways, going to really test their skills. So it's kind of going to be like almost a U.S. Open kind of track. Hamilton being an older course, it's going to be tight. It's going to have tough rough and all those things they're going to face at U.S. Open. So a pretty good event, really, to follow up into the U.S. Open.
At least that's what I think they're hoping for. Anyways, I know that's what Justin Thomas is hoping for. He said that's one of the reasons why he came at a late notice. One of the reasons why he came at a late notice, he's been injured. And he came back last week for the first time after all his time off and played horrible. So he wants another rep underneath his belt, but he did say he's heard great things about the course, and he's hoping that it plays tight and tough to prep him for the U.S. Open. So yeah, they're going to do the best job they can. I think hopefully it's tough. I know one time when it rained last time they had it at Hamilton, they chewed it up and course records were broken, and so hopefully it's tough. It's firm and fast. It's going to rain Wednesday, but like I said, Thursday through Sunday is just all sun, so they should be able to make it as fast and quick as they want and as tight as they want. It's good. It's a great field. Great week for us here in Canada. We're super pumped to have all these guys in. We have 4 of the top 6 in the world here. That is unheard of, and I think we said 6 of the top 10 in the FedEx Cup. So it's truly remarkable. We're real excited about it. The groups are complete fire, and they're just 3 big guys all together and once in the morning and afternoon. It's awesome that way, and we're just hoping that the good guys play well and we get a great finish on Sunday here. And as they prep for the U.S. Open and then head out to California.
Yeah, and big on our minds, of course, is 37 Canadians, you said?
27.
27 Canadians in the event this week. That's incredible for Canadian golf. We continue to produce more guys on the PGA.
I've played against 4 of them that are playing, 4 or 5 of them that are playing this week. They've been on my tour, or I've played in an event with them before. So it's good representation of Canada. It's good representation of the competition I've been playing against.
Yeah.
They're older than me, but that just shows what I've been playing against is good, and you always want to see people you've played against succeed, because then you can justify and realize where you are maybe in your game and how to progress like they have to this level. So it's good to see all these guys in there, 27 Canadians. Like I said, I know 4 or 5 of them. Hopefully some of them could be near the lead in the weekend. We finally got a big number that someone should be close.
Yeah.
I know Corey Connors is the main one who is not playing with another Canadian. He's playing in the big group with DJ. So
that's really nice.
He gets in that group. He gets in the DJ group. And that should be a lot of fun for him. High praise from a lot of guys on tour. In fact, he's the Canadian most of them know is Corey Connors. Apparently hangs in Jupiter with them, where most of the Canadians are in Arizona. He's in Jupiter, Florida. And even Justin Thomas was talking about, he wishes he hit the ball like Corey Connors. And It's funny to think that because Justin Thomas has a major 4 other wins. But, he could have a big week. That'd be fun for golf. I think he's the up-and-comer for Canada right now.
I don't think there's any doubt about that. And you played with Corey 4
Great
or 5
guy.
years ago.
It was fun playing with him. What he taught me was actually golf can be very simple. He hit a lot of fairways and a lot of greens and really,
and putted well.
Yeah.
Which is the key to every guy who wins.
Yeah, but I think the key was it didn't feel like he hit everything to 3 feet, which, I think everyone at home sees that because when they show it on TV, they normally show the ones that do get hit to 3 feet. But
the Sunday finals, the guys that are in the league
really focus on the putts
week.
they make, though. It's really the putts they make. Even when they do, they hit 2 or 3 close to give them gimme birdies, typically on par 5s. But really watch how many putts these guys make. And really, when I play with him, I remember that he was just fairways and greens and made putts from 10 to 15 feet, a lot more. So it was great to play with. It was great to see that firsthand, and now to see him in the Canadian Open with a win this year, and all these other guys recognizing Canada golf right now is awesome. And I know it's just going to be a big week. We're real excited about it. Definitely the best field we've ever had. With the date, a lot of guys still say it's difficult before the U.S. Open, but we're getting a lot of people coming out.
Yeah, and I think as well when we look at this event and the date it's happening, it had to be better than it was.
Well, yeah.
They can say what they want about it not being a great date. Still, a lot of guys do play the week before a major. It's going to split the top 10 up a lot, but we're going to still get a lot of great players. We obviously have the RBC sponsored players who are all there.
Yeah.
They're already at the top of their game as well. So we're guaranteed good fields these days thanks to RBC. The date as far as being the week before U.S. Open depends on their preference. But one of the things that is going to be better in the years to come is U.S. Open is going to probably be on the East Coast side of things instead of on the West Coast. Because even this year, we got that 3-hour time difference to fly out to California.
Well, that's what Thomas said. He was impressed an event can draw this type of field with the U.S. Open being in California. But the U.S. Open is going to be on the East. So once that happens, imagine who we could really get. You might even get Phil, because Phil usually plays the week before the U.S. Open. So is Jordan Spieth. So will they play when it's within, like, no time,
driving distance,
no time zone distance? Yeah, like I think next year, I don't know where. I feel like I want to say the U.S. Open's in Pennsylvania, New York, or something like that. So imagine when it's there, and it's just a quick little flight to Canada, Toronto. So imagine what field we'll get then. So it's showing that the tournament matters again. The course they're going to set up, that we host the players greatly. And, when it gets closer to the East Coast of the U.S. Open, I think we'll get Speed, I think we'll get Mickelson. It should be a great event, and it's going to continue to get better and better. But, you're guaranteed this. You're guaranteed all the RBC guys that include Dustin, Webb Simpson, Matt Kuchar, Brant Snedeker, Jim Furyk, and then you got Brooks Koepka, who's always going to come because of DJ. Then you got Bubba Watson, who's married to a Canadian. He's going to come. And then you got Sergio, who's come the last 2 years now because he just needs to play lately, and he's been part of the event. I think you'll get Rory to consistently come back. So it'll be very interesting. We're real excited, though. You can't get worse than what we had before. This is awesome. Also, if you ever think of winning all three, the two Opens as majors, U.S. Open and British Open, if you win the Canadian Open, you actually win a special cup that only 2 people have ever done in their career. So
and one of those was Tiger Woods.
One of those was Tiger Woods, and that one's Lee Trevino. So good company. So we're just real excited
how
about
tough it is to win it.
It's very important now event, and it's kind of bringing it back, which is awesome.
Yeah, and we look forward to guys taking a shot at. I'm actually a little disappointed that they don't advertise this cup more, that they don't use it as more of a draw. It's the kind of thing where now the first tournament in that 3-tournament phase, we were always the last one before. So now we're going to be in a position where we're number one, which might also draw guys if they were made aware, and maybe a lot of them do know that this is a special trophy for the 3 Opens. This started way back when, as you say, Lee Trevino was one that won it. To tie the 3 Opens together. Canadian Open at that time, if you're old enough to remember like me, was considered the 5th major in a lot of ways, but they never wanted to hurt the structure of the majors because there's a lot of records built around the 4 majors. So at that time, they put this cup together, put the 3 Opens together as a special event between, for the U.S. and Canada, all of North America, to be able to shoot at these 3 cups. So it's a pretty prestigious. It was enough to bring Tiger. The only time he ever came was when he won the U.S. Open, the British Open. Then he came here to wrap up the 3 Opens, which of course he did with a great shot on 18. And they need to use this more. I think it's a great draw and there's a lot of Canadians that have no idea that it even exists.
I don't think anyone really knows it. No one's really mentioned it, even in their pressers.
Which is too bad.
No media people have brought it up. I haven't seen one promotion of it.
Yeah.
In my mind, that's just a key to get guys to come. I think guys who have this belief, now a couple of those guys are Rory and Brooks, but if Jordan Spieth ever got playing really well, you might give him that belief that he could do it and you could bring him. I really think, I don't know if you'd ever get Tiger because he's so late in his career. I don't know if he ever believes he could really go back-to-back weeks anyway. So he's always going to prep for the U.S. Open. But I definitely mentioned to people, I think it's something that they're missing out on. But regardless, they've done a lot of work already. They have a big concert Saturday night from Florida Georgia Line, who's a big band. They got the Raptors at home on Sunday. So there's just people everywhere. Canada's just in a sports mode right now, too. It's just kind of a great vibe in Canada to have this event while the Raptors are ready, because now people are just into sports.
Yeah.
Guys, women, young, old, it's sports right now in Canada. It's their number one focus. So now you got golf and basketball. It's a great feeling, and I just think that the crowds are going to be awesome, and hopefully Rory DJ, Brooks, all these guys that we wanted to come so badly that are finally here can hopefully, be close. I mean, DJ won it, so I can't put him down. But hopefully these guys are close and they make it a great final. And hopefully one of them wins it because guess what? That means they'll come back next year.
And I think what's key is they always had to come from the British Open before. So even if they came here and they're an RBC guy, they're trying to win. They've got exhaustion. They've got issues with the changing of time and flights and all that, and then they immediately go into a new week. Now it's beforehand. So these guys are coming in fresh. It's early in the season. That's the nice thing about the new schedule. I mean, they're here and fresh, and it's only June. And we're going to have a fantastic week of weather. They've lucked out. We've had a terrible spring, rain and cold every day, which I'm sure they're not happy about in the practice rounds. Today's the Pro-Am, and then they will head into the tournament. That weekend is going to be spectacular. Summer weather, which is great. It'll keep the course fast. They'll have to play a lot of different clubs at Hamilton. It isn't a bomber's course. It's one of those typical older courses. They're going to have to place the ball in certain spots. One of the things we did when we watched the practice round a number of years ago when you were a kid was how effective these guys were at putting the ball in exactly where they wanted with a 3-wood, a 3-iron, whatever it might be, when they can't hit driver. It's amazing what they can do and where they can place the ball. So there'll be a lot of strategic golf like that this weekend, and it should be a fantastic tournament. One thing that I do want to say about it, Joey, as we were talking about there, is talking about who we think is going to win.
Yeah, well, this is our picture at the end of the day. We've done so much promotion of our own tournament. We kind of got to get into what we normally do on Wednesdays, which is telling you our picks, and you can lead it off if you want.
Well, I'm going to say right off the bat, whether we think he's going to win or not, so we can talk about it that way, but our favorite is Spieth, because we want this guy.
He's not playing this week.
Oh, he's not playing. You're
it's
right.
not
Sorry
US
about
Open.
that. Yeah. Well, this is next week.
We're thinking of the U.S. Open.
I'm
We're skipping our own event.
Yeah,
Come on.
I was thinking of Nicholas's event last week. Okay, so we don't have Spieth to talk about.
No.
So we're gonna look at others. I'm gonna make two predictions here as far as who's gonna win the tournament. I don't think DJ is gonna have a great week. Just changed his coach. I hear.
Changed his coach. Now I've heard something like that he still works maybe on video with Butch, but I've heard that he's gone to his old teacher from college, who actually runs his program in Myrtle Beach.
Right.
So, I don't know how much, though, that would change his swing. I think it's more probably for short game and putting that he went to this coach for. But it is going to be swing as well. Here's the thing, though. He hasn't played since the PGA. He finished second.
Yeah.
I don't know how much he changed from the hopefully not too much. He played some pretty damn good golf, to be honest with you. If it wasn't for Brooks having a massive lead, he might have won that event, and he still almost won it with Brooks choking. So, I don't know. I feel like he embraced the event the most. He hasn't played. Does that mean he's going to start slow, or is he really fresh right now? A lot of these guys aren't that fresh. Rory and Thomas did play last week. But DJ, I don't know. I have a good feeling about DJ. I think he'll be fine. I think him and Brooks will be fine.
Well, I think he's a question mark, so that's, for me, an interesting factor there that we'll see what happens. I'm not picking him because of that. I think Johnson has gone the path. He changed and got his brother on the bag, right?
That was a while ago, though.
Yeah, but I'm saying he did that. I think he's looking for comfort in the round. I don't think he's looking for the coaching that a Butch would give him. I think he wants guys he knows.
He's at a level. He's so talented and so good that I think he's at a level he needs more just positive reinforcement. I don't think he needs a coach as high class as Butch Harmon is. I don't think he wants that right now. I think he feels like he's above that. He wants someone. He goes to an old college coach that is probably can maybe help him, maybe mentally, freedom, maybe a little bit help his coach. But probably more is just a yes man and a pump up type of guy.
Yeah.
You know, Butch Harmon, Claude Harmon, his son, Butch Harmon's son, Claude Harmon works with Brooks, works with DJ, but there's still some power there, and I don't know if DJ maybe just doesn't want it right now in his life. He probably just wants to be like, I got to swing. My swing's fine, like whatever.
Yeah.
I just need to fix my putting. And I think a college coach or a coach that he's familiar with who runs his Myrtle Beach school is going to be someone who lays off and really only helps when DJ asks it. I feel like a Claude or a Butch, I don't know for sure, but I feel like they'd still want their input because they're the best coaches to ever exist. Butch Harmon is clearly one of the best coaches to ever coach.
Yeah. And
his son's right in following his footsteps. So I feel maybe that was part of the situation. Maybe it's to get away from Brooks a little bit, to be honest with you. How much time can you spend with one human being who's not a woman?
Yeah.
Like, my God. But we'll see going forward. I think DJ's a good week. I think Brooks, actually, my bold prediction is I think Thomas misses the cut again. I don't think he's ready. I think he's trying to push himself to be ready for the U.S. Open. He said he didn't play that bad last week, although had big numbers. I don't know if you can avoid big numbers. I don't know how hard it's going to play, but if it plays hard, Hamilton can provide you some big numbers. You can hit in the trees. If that's what you're worried about going into Hamilton, I don't think playing Hamilton helps you very much. But he is at least smart enough to take out driver, put on 3-wood. Rory will be interested to see how he plays the course. In my mind, if I'm Rory, I'm ripping 3-woods all day. I still think he'll hit drivers. I think Thomas and Rory will struggle if it plays as difficult as it can, that we know it can, with the rough and the trees. I think they struggle. I think Brooks has a great week. I think he's near the lead for sure. I think Kuchar has a great week. I think he loves this event. He's playing good. He's number one in the FedEx Cup. Although, can that guy not avoid some drama this year? What's with that?
No kidding.
What golf god looked down at him and said, we're going to give you the most wins of your career.
You're too nice of a guy. We're
going to put some drama in your face. My God. I can see Furyk playing well. Webb Simpson playing well. Obviously, a lot of guys possibly. We don't have any strong opinions, I don't think, going in this week.
Well, I really have I was going to lead into speed because we want him to win a major so badly, but with his absence, I am, interestingly enough, looking at Furyk. I think he's played well.
Be great.
What was it, 2-3 weeks ago? He was right in the mix.
Yeah.
This is, he loves Canada. He's won twice, I think it is here. This is the kind of golf course that would work well for him. He keeps the ball in the fairway. He's a great putter. We know what he can do. And I think there's a possibility for another old guy to win a tournament. I mean, you look at Phil, you look at Tiger. It's no longer, once you're past 40, the world has ended as far as golf is concerned anymore. So I'm looking for Furyk as a long shot play here. The second long shot I have is Corey Connors. I think we're on, there's just sports in Canada, as you were mentioning in the beginning, seems to be on a roll right now.
Yeah.
We haven't had a Canadian winner since the 50s.
54 years.
And Corey's the kind of guy who can do it on this golf course. One other one that I think would be another Canadian, would be Hagman. And I think he's got a shot.
He's been horrible in the Opens.
He's had a tough time
in the Opens
because he takes on all the media. What I think
But he didn't have to this year.
Well, that's what I'm thinking might be helpful to him, is that Corey will take more of the media, especially if he gets a good start.
Well, real quick, Mackenzie Hughes took a ton of the media, actually, being from Dundas. I don't know why, but he just took a ton.
Well, Dundas is in Hamilton, so he's a local favorite.
He took all the media. From being from Dundas, Mackenzie Hughes is all over the articles online. He had to do all these special tours of the holes. He played it weeks ahead of time and did a thing. So he's actually taken a ton of this media. So Adam Hadwin can't sneak in because he has not been really near leads this year. He's made cuts, but hasn't been near leads this year. So he's flying on the radar going to this Canadian Open, even though normally he's the guy.
But he's an accurate player.
He's an accurate player. You got Corey, like you said. He could do it too. But Mackenzie Hughes actually takes all this media. Will he play well because of that, or will he struggle because of it? We'll see. Here's my long shot. You mentioned Furyk. I like Furyk. First of all, my bold prediction is and this is a guarantee. I said bold prediction, Thomas and Roy will struggle, but this is a guaranteed bold prediction. Bubba Watson will miss the cut. He is going to miss this cut. He's not going to play well.
Yeah.
He's going to miss the cut. That's my bold prediction. Go pick Bubba Watson or bet him, whatever you guys are going to do. Bubba Watson will miss this cut.
Well, because look at this tournament that he's won, the Masters, where he's been spraying all over the place.
He almost won at Glen Abbey because Glen Abbey is a course for him.
Too, yeah.
He will miss this cut, guaranteed. That's a lock. Lock that in. Here's a prediction I like, and I kind of popped in my head. Well, a couple here, but a long shot would be for me Henrik Stenson. I think Henrik Stenson's gonna have a good week. I think he can play this golf course. I think he has the tools to, his ball striking can overpower this golf course. I think if it's tight and tough, that could benefit him with that 3-wood he hits. It's his first time at the Open. He's kind of fallen off up in his low 40s, 43 years old, but even at 40, that's when he won the British Open and was having all these great years, late 30s, early 40s. He's tailed off a little bit. Some injuries there, obviously, but I just think he's here this week. I think Henrik Stenson has a good week. I think he's a top 10 guy. I'd watch for him coming Sunday. That's a bold prediction for me, a long shot possibly to win. My favorite to win, I don't know if you count for him as favorite, he doesn't get talked about enough. I think Webb Simpson. I think Webb Simpson has a great week this week. He's won a U.S. Open. He plays tight golf courses, and when he gets that putter rolling, he is on fire. He's a great ball striker. He's not very long, but Hamilton doesn't play totally long if you can drive it well. And I think he'll do that. I like Webb Simpson's chances this week. He's a new RBC guy. They sponsored him this year. New RBC guy, won the Players last year, has had a close to Hall of Fame career. I mean, you got Players, you got a U.S. Open, you got about 8 wins. I think he could add to that total this week. Webb Simpson would be my favorite to win the event for sure. But if you want someone to win as a fan, you want Thomas or Rory because they'll guarantee they'll come back.
Yeah.
Or Brooks. The rest of them are sponsored by RBC, but one of those guys win would be awesome. Or even a Sergio would be cool to see too. He's in this event this week. But I think Stenson, Simpson are my guys that I think are top 10 for sure. Bubba Watts is my lock to miss the cut. He's going to struggle mightily. And I think Rory and Thomas, one of them will miss the cut as well. I think they'll struggle. I think it'll be more Rory than Justin Thomas, but we'll see going forward. Hopefully they all have good weeks though for the Sunday fans.
Well, yeah, for sure. And I think that, again, it's going to come down to a shot maker. I'm picking Kuchar to win the tournament. He's been through so much crap this year, but he did win twice early on. He's always part of the race, always, every golf tournament he plays. I think this golf course sets up really well for him. I'm looking for him to have, to kind of break away from all the stress that's been in his life and get that third win. He started so well, so I think he's really got an opportunity here to win. So him and Furyk, I'm taking both of those guys from a perspective of their accuracy and their ability to putt well. So we will see what happens there, but there's lots of players that are open. One of the things that's a challenge for trying to predict who's going to win is we don't know who's really playing to win. You think they're all playing to win, but they're really playing for next week.
Learning next week, because the courses, what I've heard, are trying to be close as far as tightness goes and difficulty, they will try to win, I think, because they got to play. Like, I remember when Speak said 1 week, well, he still hit driver because he's working on his driver.
That's exactly what I'm talking about.
I don't think that will happen this week because it's so close the week before. I don't know.
Well, it'll be interesting to see, but I think if you're working on anything in your game, you're less worried about winning this week than you are making sure you're tuned up for the U.S. Open. So we'll see what happens there, but that's why I think it makes it more difficult to predict winners of not knowing exactly the strategy of every player.
Here's what we know. They
in.
want to play 4 days. They came to play 4 days.
Oh, for sure. Oh, yeah. I mean, making the cut for the guys we're talking about should be a no-brainer. But it's a matter of, are they really pushing everything? Are they going to make shots that are important to win? Or are they going to make shots that set them up for next week? We don't know that strategy from everybody, so it's more difficult to predict than it would be in most weeks when winning is the prime thought process. So we'll see what happens. We've got lots of things happening that way. We're going to come back Friday night after the cut, and we'll have a better idea then as to how guys are playing and who we think might move on to win the tournament. So those are our predictions so far. A little wide-ranging, but we're giving you some thoughts on different players. At this stage, I'd pick some long shots. The odds are going to be huge if you happen to be wagering on the event, which is now a big part of golf. For years, it was kind of keep it quiet, but now it's all about wagering. So, there's a lot of places you can go wager on golf today.
And we should know this.
I pick some of those long shots.
But unfortunately, we don't. But if he's playing, you got to put a little bit of money. Is Tony Finau playing? Have you heard? I've not heard his name.
I've not heard him, no.
I feel like I would have heard his name if he was playing. But if he is playing, every week he tees it up. Yeah, this guy is picking him to win. So I'm sorry, I don't know. I think I would have known if he was playing. But if he is, and you see that, go put a little something on him.
He'll be long, that's for sure. So a good opportunity to bet on some guys that are set up for the Hamilton golf course, but it will be considered long shots in this event. A good chance to not have to wager much money and make some great returns on that. So anyway, it's a Wednesday. We're looking forward to the tournament starting tomorrow. The only reason we'll be on tomorrow is we hear of an injury or something else happening within the event that's worth noting. Otherwise, we'll be back Friday night after the cut. And hope you guys all enjoy the Canadian Open.